So, hi, can you tell me your name?
My name's Elisia.
Hi, Elisia.
I'm Kylie.
Hi, Kylie.
I'm Carrie.
And what's your name?
Jared.
Hi, and what's your name?
Emma Fraser.
Oh, you're so cute. So, Jared, let's start with you. What are you doing here today?
Well, my family just wanted to come.
Oh,
And I just came especially.
And so, who are these two ladies here? Are these your grandmas?
Yeah. You live next door to them.
Oh, really? And so, how do you feel about living next door to your grandmas? Do they spend a lot of time with you?
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you want to say anything? No? Do you love your grandmas? Yay! Okay.
You can go play with your friends. Are you wilting? She's wilting.
Yes, we're all wilting.
I just want to do something.
You want to do something with me? But I have to talk to this lady, so will you go play with your friends for a little while?
Thank you.
You can go play too. Go ahead. Thank you. You can stay here if you want.
Okay, so can you tell me what you're doing here today?
I came to support my mom and my other mom today because I actually never heard of Jeremiah, whatever his last name is, Dice. And so I read a few things about him, and I read about NOM, or whatever they are, NOM, N-O-M. And just wanted to come show my support.
So how do you feel about them being in your state?
I hope they leave as soon as possible. I hope they get out of our state as safely as possible. And I hope they stay away when they're gone. And I hope they lose.
Fair enough.
I wanted to say for something, ever since she was little, she was always the feisty one, picking fights with the biggest person who would say the meanest things about us.
I didn't pick the fights, they picked it.
Well, they
but I
weren't
had no problem
Yeah.
standing up.
When someone would say something in a store, she would run up and say. I mean, she didn't get physical, but she wasn't afraid. She would just tell them to lay off. That's my mom's, and
She's our fearless ally.
That's awesome.
It is.
yes.
So can you tell me about your bike rides?
Well, we actually went on 2, and we were planning to go on 3. The first one we went in 2003. We were living in Florida at the time, and we started out in St. Augustine, Florida, and we rode to the southern part of the United States, following like through Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, that area. We wanted to kind of go where we knew people weren't out, and we stopped in cities and towns along the way, and we actually went to state capitals and would meet with local legislators who were willing to meet with us, and we talked way back when about marriage rights with people who were squeamishly uncomfortable, including the Human Rights Campaign, and we couldn't get any organization national to back us up. But we decided we were going to go on the second ride anyway. But before we could go, I believe it was then that Massachusetts passed its marriage law. So between the first and second bike ride, one state granted equal marriage rights.
Actually, we were on the bike ride,
Oh, that's
and we
right.
read it in, I think, in Nevada. We
That's
saw the
right.
headline
That's
that,
right.
that Massachusetts passed it. And then in the previous February, Gavin Newsom,
Following
previous February,
before Massachusetts. We will
Yes.
argue about this another time. But at some point, right before we went to California for the second ride, Gavin Newsom was marrying people in San Francisco. So the whole rally that was planned in Golden Gate State Park by the group, the Marriage Equality of California, they were having a wedding, and we were all going to get married there. And
we were
then
going to get married on our bicycles.
and
which
then
is
they were
pretty
going
fun.
to send us off to cross the country, and they were following shortly after on a bus, going to the same cities and towns. But obviously there was a stay before we could actually get there and do it, so we just had the party without the wedding. And we we left and we rode again through the middle of the country, stopping in towns and cities, having events. And as I said, when we got to New York City, this was during the 2004 presidential campaign. We were supposed to have a big rally in DC with HRC and the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force, and John Kerry campaign asked them not to do it. So everyone except that Robin Tyler's group, Don't Amend, and the bus from San Francisco, and Elisia and I were the only people who rallied in DC, and there were probably fewer people there than are here today. So that's how much things have changed.
Wow. So why did you choose to come here instead of the state capitol where NAM is actually having their rally right now as we speak?
We originally planned to come here, and then as we watched the tour tracker, we realized we originally planned to go and counter-protest them. We started noticing they were using footage of chanting gay and lesbian people and other things we were doing and editing them to suit their warped stereotype of us being radical and anti-family, anti-children, and they were like using it for propaganda purposes, and we didn't want to be a prop for them. It didn't matter how loving we were, they were going to take whatever they wanted, and we didn't want to be standing there for them to take a picture at all. So we decided that we would use their trip here as our own reason to gather together with our own families to show our support and love, and that we are just like anybody else. And we want the same things everybody else wants. And that their focus is completely wrong, because they're focusing on sex, on the sexual act, and not on relationships and commitment. Any more than you would go to somebody's wedding and be thinking in the pews about what they were going to do that night, or what they were going to do for the rest of their lives, or any more than you would go to your grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary to think about all the sex they've had over the last 50 years. That's not what this is about either. And the fact that they're so concerned about what we do in the bedroom has totally, in my opinion, shown the world what they're really all about, which is why I compare them to Ted Haggard, Mark Foley, Larry Craig, and George Rentboy Rikers, whatever his name is, because they're obsessed about us. And one would only have to wonder why. So I wonder why.
You need to quit us.
Yeah, they just can't quit us.
Okay, thank you so much for talking to me. I appreciate it.